I have always believed that the Congress party is adept at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. They are also very adept at cutting their nose to spite their face. And I say this advisedly. They know every time the Prime Minister has got up to speak on the floor of this House, and I think his worst political adversaries will recognize the fact that he is a peerless orator. There is no question. I don't think there is an orator today in India who matches him. There is no question. Everybody recognizes that fact. So every time he gets up on the floor of the House, he puts the Congress party through the shredder. I mean, they actually go through a shredding machine. So I cannot understand why they should cut their nose to spite their face, ask him to come to the House and put them through the shredder, as I have no doubt he will when he replies on Thursday. So this defies common sense, it defies logic, it defies political sense. I believe that there are other arguments that would have been more persuasive. The people of this country will decide if the Prime Minister has chosen not to speak, whether that was right or that was wrong. It's for the people to decide. And you have to take that case to the people. You don't bring a no confidence which is doomed to fail in any case. At the threshold, you know your no confidence is doomed to fail. You don't bring it needlessly and waste the time of the House. You don't disrupt the House needlessly when you know that the ruling party likes nothing better than the House being disrupted so that bills can be passed in the din. So ministers are happy not to answer any questions in question hour. This is, for every ruling party, this is a dream scenario. They let the opposition disrupt parliament so that we can go home and sleep happily. So therefore, this kind of disruptive politics has not paid dividend in the past, and I have no doubt that this kind of disruptive politics will not pay dividend in the future. As far as Manipur is concerned, I have to say that the Honorable Home Minister had called an all-party meeting. I was one of the members who was present there on behalf of my party. It was an exceptionally detailed analysis which was given to everybody. The Congress party was represented there by Shri Ibobi Singh, who was the three-term former Chief Minister. All the other parties were there, and we were given a complete kaleidoscope really of what has gone wrong in Manipur. And these are legacy issues. Manipur is not the result, today's conflagration in Manipur is not the result of the last 10 years, let's face it. It's the result of almost 50 to 60 years of strife in Manipur. The fact of the matter is that this entire issue has boiled over, not now, it has boiled over 3 or 4 times in a major way through the 80s and the 90s. This was somehow capped until, very unfortunately, the Manipur High Court in a PIL suddenly woke up one fine morning. In a 20-minute hearing without pleadings being completed, the High Court passed what according to me is one of the most ill-advised orders that this country has ever seen, of giving a direction to the state government to immediately consider within 4 weeks the giving of ST status to a particular community. Firstly, this is totally without jurisdiction because the state government can't do it. It's something only the central government can do. So the High Court not only passed a totally erroneous order, but passed an order without hearing all the parties, without affidavits being completed, without any kind of rationale or logic. It simply passed an order which the Supreme Court severely deprecated. The Chief Justice's Court on 19th of May severely deprecated the High Court order. But I believe the central government missed a trick there. I believe the central government, in asking for the matter to be remanded back to the High Court to be heard there, was a huge error. And I pointed this out at the meeting, that the central government should have been happy to let the matter rest in the Supreme Court's lap. Because we have seen that the people of this country have great faith in the Supreme Court. Look at the classic case of Babri Masjid, Ram Janmabhoomi dispute. For decades, this dispute could not be resolved until the Supreme Court sat down, gave a judgment, and both parties accepted it graciously. So I believe that if this issue had been left to the Supreme Court, tempers would have cooled. Instead, the matter went back to the High Court, and the High Court again, in a totally ill-advised order, instead of cancelling the last order, simply revised the order and said, all right, instead of 4 weeks, you take 1 year to decide this matter. Which means the sword of Damocles, therefore, kept hanging.